Hey, what is up, you guys? It's your boy, Rookozan, and here today, we're going to be talking about the favorite subject that everyone loves to talk about, the copyright strike. YouTube loves copyright strikes. But not only will we be talking about domestic stuff on YouTube, but also we'll be talking about things outside in the gaming world. Right now, let's stick with YouTube. So what happened on YouTube? Well, this very famous YouTuber, you may know him for his famous work, Salad Fingers, David Firth, has received a copyright strike. Oh no, what has he received a copyright strike on? On his own content, believe it or not. Someone had the audacity to copyright strike his own content, to call it their own content. And what did you have guessed? It worked! And so right now, he is dealing with the process of making sure he gets back the money that he is really did work really hard to get. Now, to tell you again what happens when you get a copyright strike is everything that you get basically goes into this pile of nowhereness. The money that is currently being earned is basically none void, so you can't get the money. It used to be where if you made a copyright strike, they would get the money immediately, but now YouTube's like, okay, well, this has been implemented for like, what, 2 or 3 years now, where it's in the stockpile, so no one wins. So you're gonna have to go through a long, lengthy trial to make sure you get your money back, to get your content back, and it's just ridiculous. And in fact, it's just so ridiculous how YouTube is so blind to such scumminess that they can't even realize the man who created the video is like trying to say like, this is my video, why am I getting a copyright strike? So all of this is just a bunch of ridiculousness. This just shows you again how YouTube is broken. And honestly, for me, in this certain situation, this just goes to show why we can't have an automated system where if you get a copyright strike, you can't just give it to the system, to a robot or AI, whatever it may be, and just be like, well, I'm a robot, so I know what I'm going to do. So you get a copyright strike, and you get a copyright strike. It's absolutely ridiculous, and that's why we need human interaction. That is why we need to have people to look into it. So if you want to give a person a copyright strike, you give YouTube a notice, be like, hey, look at this. This person has taken my content in some way, shape, or form. I would like for you to go look at it, and if it follows the guidelines, then I would like for you to give me the money back that I deserve. And YouTube's going to be like, okay, we'll do that. We're going to do that. But of course, we don't live in a perfect world, so that probably will never happen. Or when it does happen, it won't be the thing that we all wanted and wished, but at least it'll be better than what we have. But now, since we've already talked about what happened to poor David, and hopefully he gets everything situated, and maybe by the end of this video, or whenever you're seeing this video, he's already had that situation covered. But right now, let's talk about our two favorite games, Fortnite and PUBG. So what happened with Fortnite and PUBG that has to do with a copyright strike? Well, here's the deal though. It's not necessarily a copyright strike. Copyright strike? There you go. But it's more of a suing kind of deal. PUBG is trying to sue Fortnite for copying, get this, the Battle Royale genre, or game mode. And you gotta say to yourself, PUBG, you can't do that. You can't copyright a genre. That's retarded. Because if you realize if this works out, and if PUBG manages to win, anyone who has a Battle Royale game mode in their game is basically screwed, because they're taking content that is supposedly of PUBG, and they cannot sell this product anymore because they have to get Mr. PUBG to accept it. And isn't that ridiculous? So right now they're dealing with that garbage. You just imagine Call of Duty, Black Ops 4, having a Battle Royale game mode. And if PUBG wins this, they're gonna be like, well, we can't sell the game anymore because we put a lot of effort in this Battle Royale mode, but we don't get sued. But you gotta realize this, Though PUBG has been born from another game that's like the same, and from another game that's like the same, created by basically the same man, the Battle Royale genre is not his, nor did he create the Battle Royale genre. In fact, the very first Battle Royale genre that we can see was from a book. That is a Japanese novel, or was it a movie? I think it was a book Then it was adapted to a movie, but it was Japanese, I know for sure. I wish I knew what it was. I think it was called The Island. I'm not 100% sure, but I am 100% sure the first Battle Royale genre that we got, or the first Battle Royale thing that we got, was from that Japanese book, and then to movie. And then what did you know? The Americans were like, we can do that, but much better. And so we get the Hunger Games. And so Minecraft was like, that would be great, but only if we were blockier and more toxic. And boom, what did you guess? You get the Hunger Games Minecraft edition, and then so on and so forth with H1Z1, DayZ, and all that good stuff. And the progression of the Battle Royale genre has increased from day one. And wouldn't you have guessed? Again, PUBG did not create the Battle Royale genre. It would be one thing if they created the Battle Royale genre, but it also would be another thing to be very scummy of them to try to copyright a genre. We've already seen what happens when you try to copyright a genre, because look at the Fine Brothers. They kinda tried to copyright or trademark, is either trademark or copyright, I think they're basically the same thing. They tried to copyright the word reaction. And everyone lost their mind. They were like, you can't do that. And of course they can't. They can't do that at all. That's ridiculous. And then you got PlayStation. No, actually it was Sony. Basically the same thing. You got Sony trying to copyright strike the good old keyword Let's Play. And everyone's like, you can't do that. So of course, a lot of people were pissed off at this with this notion. But I believe that PUBG will continue to sue Fortnite for this horrible action. Now, in my opinion, the only reason why PUBG's doing this to Fortnite is because Fortnite's currently swallowing PUBG's competition. Or basically, there really is no competition to Fortnite in that sort of sense, because everyone's focus is on Fortnite until Call of Duty 4 comes out, and if that's good, then there could be some real competition. And so, with that being said, PUBG's like, we gotta figure out a way to try to defend ourselves, keep us alive as much as possible. And so they came up with the idea of suing Fortnite for copying the Battle Royale genre, or copying the Battle Royale mode, of which, yeah, I can see where they're coming from. Again, that they basically made a reality. But again, they're not the creation of the Battle Royale game mode. So with that being said, this world is crazy. The copyright system is just out of control. It is a necessity. I'm not going to say that there should be no copyrights. But with that being said though, we have to be careful. We can't be too greedy. We gotta give credit where it's due, but we can't take credit where it's not due. So with that being said, give your prayers to Fortnite. It needs some good prayer, because you gotta realize you may not like Fortnite, but you gotta fight for the good cause. You gotta fight against PUBG. To be like, hey PUBG, you can't do that. Don't be a scumbag. And also pray for Mr. David. Mr. David needs to go through all that mumbo jumbo when it comes to the copyright strikes. So his prayers will be in my prayer book, which is non-existent, but I'll still pray for him. So continue your prayers, and let's hope that Mr. David will fix the copyright strike on his own content, which is absolutely ridiculous. And let's hope that PUBG doesn't win this horrible game against everything else when it comes to copyright strikes. And so with that being said, this is Rick Gozen, getting the hell out of here. Have a wonderful day.